All right, welcome Yu-Gi-Oh fans and Yu-Gi-Oh players to Epic Friday night. We're here at final round. This is the fifth round.
Fifth round of Swiss before the top cut 8.
Before top cut 8. But we thought this was such a good match between Billy Break and Fili Luna here. Two great players in Yu-Gi-Oh history. If you don't know, Fili's had 4 YCS wins, not just tops, but 4 YCS wins under his belt, along with, I think, 12 tops total. And
Something
Billy
ridiculous.
has, I think, right around the same, 13 tops, but of course, you know, his back-to-back titles, YCSs. I think, what was that, Toronto and Chicago?
Known for that water deck.
Yep.
Water, and then
was really
definitely
good
an
with
established
water.
player during the Plant era as well.
Plant as well. And Billy was actually good with X-Sabers as well. That was his, he really started topping when X-Sabers came out.
A little bit before my time, but yeah, that's what I've been told. All right, so anyways, we'll get to this match. We have Billy playing the new Burning Abyss deck. He piloted this at the most recent regionals, the San Antonio regionals.
San Antonio regionals last week.
Exactly. Definitely, I think I would say that he's one of the sole people responsible for spiking up the cost of this entire deck. I think Dante going from $15 to $50 overnight, something ridiculous.
Yes. No, I definitely think so. You look at, I mean, Billy's a great player, and he's innovated decks before, and if he thinks it has potential, then people will jump on it. A lot of guys know Billy and respect him, so it's definitely going to...
and I do want to point out that I
up.
was talking with Billy earlier about the Burning Abyss deck, and he actually has been... he's been working with Jeff Jones on this deck that he's currently playing. So both two very highly respected players, known players that are working on it. Anyway, so we'll switch to Fili. He's playing Light Sworns this evening. I would say that he has been playing Light Sworns the past few Epic Friday nights. He feels very comfortable with it. I know he's tried Sylvans a few times. He really likes those combo decks.
Yeah, he played Sylvans a little bit, and then... but he's been really playing this deck quite a bit. I think he played it at the ARG Championship Series as well. And I don't know. I don't remember exactly how well he did, but I know he likes the deck, and he's undefeated tonight. Both Billy and Fili. Both Billy and Fili are undefeated right now. That's why they get to meet here in the final round
of Swiss.
Swiss here. I don't see anything unusual about Fili's deck. I watched him in the last round. It just seems to be a normal build with the new synchro that came out and the other new cards.
And he's probably using Felice in there as well.
Oh yeah. That just came out in the last pack.
Yeah. All right, so to start off, Billy, I know his first turn he went for a Dante play, and then he went for another Dante play. So he's definitely got a very strong start. Being able to get his engine really going. That's one of the problems, I think, with the Burning Abyss deck. That's why he told me he was running 3 Mathematician, is because you really need to get the deck rolling. Yeah. Well,
it's Mathematician's a +1, so it's a great card for this deck.
Exactly.
Along with Tour Guide.
Of course. Just being able to search Tour Guide off like practically anything is ridiculous in this deck.
And Tour Guide's back at 3 now, so it makes the deck even more viable. Konami probably won't ban it this next ban list. They never do. They always ban it like a format later than they should. But I think it stays at 3. And I mean, it's a great engine. Tour Guide was a great engine before. That's why I got hit. So I mean, any deck that can +1.
Well, I think they fixed the real problem with Tour Guide, which was Kariba, or not Kariba, excuse me, Sangan. Sangan was the real problem. With Tour Guide.
I mean, you could +2 with one card and with one Tour Guide. So. And that was formats ago, but it was still busted when it first came out. So,
all right. So Fili's contemplating his. I think this is his first turn. He's got 6 cards in hand. So this is his first turn. He's contemplating. Billy has a strong setup.
You can see he's got.
Dante has the effect that if he's destroyed. No, excuse me. If he hits the graveyard, he doesn't either sent or destroyed. He gets to. I'm pretty sure he's added a Burning Abyss card from his graveyard to his hand.
I think so, because I think that's how he got, or maybe is it? How did he get that Tour Guide back?
I'm still kind of confused on all the effects of the Burning Abyss. I know one of them adds from the deck to the hand, one of them adds from the graveyard to the hand, one of them special summons from the deck, one of them special summons from the graveyard. So it's kind of confusing. So Fili plays the Dark Hole. This is the interesting. So Billy checks his graveyard. Let's see what he does with these. I think we'll know the effect after he does that. So he adds Sir. I think that's to his hand. He's going to add something else. So I think Dante adds it back to his hand. And it might be a Fiend.
Yeah, it might be Fiend. I think that's how he got the Tour Guide back to his hand to play it again.
Interesting.
And
And so something to know about the Burning Abyss is because the Burning Abyss has no requirements for how they hit the graveyard. So even if they're Exceed materials and they hit the graveyard, they still get their effects.
Yeah,
so Billy got all of those effects that were underneath Dante as well.
Yeah, I mean that's what that's what Sangan did at first, and then they changed it.
They edited it, saying it had to go from the field to the graveyard, which then they ruled that if they were Exceed materials, they weren't technically on the field. So anyways, Fili plays Raiden, and he mills. He mills a Wolf, bringing that immediately out, and I know that'll pump Raiden's attack up.
Now,
he's overlaying. I think it's because he doesn't want to deal with... Ooh, now he goes the Bujinkni...
Yeah.
Something
or another. I don't know how to say it.
It's a Bujin card, and I'm actually not familiar with the effect. It's one that was kind of dismissed as being...
Neither is Billy.
Billy's not familiar with it.
Maybe we could ask him in between games and see what that does. I'm trying to look it up with the laptop, but it's not working with me very quickly.
Just use Google.
Well, yeah, I guess I could just use Google.
Dog.
I never Google effects. I usually know them, but I don't know any of the new ones yet. I don't know most of the new Burning Abyss cards because, I mean, the set just came out.
Yeah.
And I haven't played against any of the new decks.
I played it round 3 in Swiss. I beat it, but I feel like just barely. It was a close game. I had to read every card multiple times. And it looks like Fili's having to do the same. Fili's reading the cards multiple times to make sure he makes the correct play.
Right.
You know, especially with some decks, you're like, okay, you know, just do your thing. But with this Burning Abyss deck, it's very much you kind of have to figure out how to play around them.
Yeah, you certainly got to know which effects to negate.
Exactly.
You can't just negate the first one because it won't matter. They'll still get a secondary effect.
And you can only something that came up in my match is that each different Burning Abyss monster can only get one of its effects once per turn.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If some of them replace themselves, right? So you had to remember which card actually got its effect. So for example, I think there was one of them that specials from the graveyard, and he specialed the same one, and he had 2 other monsters, and I made sure to hit the same one because it wouldn't get its effect comparatively to the other one.
Because that had already used its effect for the turn.
Exactly. So a lot of playing around you have to do against this Burning Abyss deck.
And then not only you. I don't know if there's been damage yet.
I don't think there has been.
It's tough to tell because we can't hear them.
So let's see. So he sits on the Bujin card and passes turn. Billy decides to exceed. He exceeds for Alucard. So he's probably gonna he might go for the dice roll against one of the back row. Maybe a blind MST scenario. I always like rolling my dice and I go 1, 2, 3, 4 back and forth, always starting from the left to right. But that's just me, I guess.
I think a lot of people do that. I think they think it's more unbiased. I usually pick to be honest, whenever I'm MSTing and I don't know what to do, I just pick the one on the left because I feel like your opponent, especially if they're right-handed, will always set that first card right down to their right, which is your left, and that's always the one that they think is most useful because they play it first.
Mind games.
That's
why whenever I set a bunch of cards, I shuffle them before I do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You just shuffle them. So let's see.
So he's still got the Alucard on the field.
I thought he was removing it for some reason. I couldn't tell what that was.
I feel like Billy likes to mess with his cards sometimes. You see him shuffle really fast and move his cards on the field.
Yeah, he does a lot of fidgeting, not because he's nervous. He's been in tons of situations, and he and Fili have played each other for years, so it's not like he's worried about any. He just always does that. That's how he always.
Okay, so Fili plays the Compulse on Alucard before he can get its effect off. So Fili was this makes me think that Fili was guarding his other back row. Because otherwise, if Fili didn't care, he would have let him try to hit.
Yeah, he would have let him try to hit. And the other one's probably.
So now, because there were XC materials underneath and they went to the graveyard, he gets to special summon Dante back. And is that a normal summon? He normal summons Mathematician.
Another.
And he sends Felice. Okay, so he is playing some of the synchro options. It looks like. That would be my thought. Felice is a tuner, am I correct?
Yeah, it's a tuner.
It's a level 4 tuner, so he's going to go for the 8.
And and what's funny about that is that I saw someone play this who was playing Burning Abyss someone else go into Arcanite Magician as well, and I was like, that card hasn't been used since Synchro Cat was around.
In fact, it was actually when I remember it got hyped for Shadows.
Yeah.
Right before the set came out. I know a few vendors that were basically scouring the internet to pick them up for $3 a piece and then flip them for 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's a card that's somewhat hold its value, even though it was rarely used the past few years, but it's never been reprinted as far as I know.
It's always nice to see old cards getting reused again.
We see an Arcanite, and then we see BLS, which people hated coming off the ban list, but then it turned out it was decent, but never really killed the format, and now it's a power card that people can use occasionally.
Chaos was never like I would say the past few formats with dragons, they've all been focusing around dragons that have different, like the earth, fire, wind.
Water, wind, and that's the thing. And then there was a bunch of only light decks, and it's tough to splash cards the way they used to.
So look,
there we go.
What happened is Billy flipped the vanities, and I think Fili just folded. I can go double check this. Yeah, let me go double check this. You stay here.
Double check C, and we'll get a recap of this game here.
What happened? Fili scooped? Okay.
All right, so yeah, Fili definitely scooped there at the end.
Yeah, so they're at the end. So we will be. We'll come back to you for game 2 in just a moment. Let's just recap that real quickly while they're side decking. I know Billy had a really strong opening with a double Dante play.
Double Dante, and he went first. So
exactly, and Fili was able to respond with a good amount of cards. Speaking a different language behind us. He was able to, but what sealed the deal there was the vanities at the end, and Fili just didn't have anything to get over it.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at his field and his hand. I think he just said.
He said, "Let's save the time and let's go to the next one." All right, so we'll check out the next video for game 2.
All right.